Raising children abroad can be very challenging. And I know in my journey so far, telling people about living abroad, moving abroad, and opportunities abroad, I know I've heard many also, voicing out their fear of losing their children in the Western cultures. Welcome to my channel. My name is Obi Ono, and I'm here to talk about parenting abroad, sharing some of my experiences so far since we've been living abroad. Hopefully, someone will learn something and someone may be encouraged to understand the diversity, the inclusion, the innovation, the skills you can apply to benefit and enjoy the two worlds. Now, let's talk about parenting abroad. I came to the US a couple of years ago, like 3 years, this is the third year now, and I came with 4 young adult and teenagers. And I can assure you that it has not been fun. It's been, not an easy journey. Yes, but it's been fun. Maybe I will say it's been fun in its own way. But we are all learning in the new society that we found ourselves. Now, what do I mean? The truth is that parenting does not start in one day. Nobody waits for 10 years, 20 years before you start parenting. Parenting starts from the very moment a child is born. When my family and I were talking about relocating abroad, we had friends and relations that expressed their fear over raising children abroad. But I love what my mom said, an over 80-year woman who said, children also get lost in our backyard. And if you're from my community, you will know where we call Okbalekwe. It's one inner part of the community. My mom said, those guys are smoky boy in Okbalekwe. They were not raised abroad. Some of them has not even traveled to Enugu or Lagos or Abuja. And yet, they are lost. In my mind, I believe that was wisdom from heaven, because I also see that children who get lost are not specific to a particular country, not Western world, not third world, not developed world. No, the task of parenting is huge and it comes with a lot of work. However, many people could back off from this work because it's demanding on you. It can be very frustrating. And I'll give you a typical example. On Saturdays, all of us have our unique chores. Sometimes it looks like you're going to chase one person or the other to do theirs. It could be very frustrating sometimes, and you can decide to stop chasing the child to do his usual chore. So the child over time will get used to not doing anything. This is parenting. But your job is to make sure that everybody understands their role in the family and they play it. Now, how do we do that? We do it with a lot of respect. We respect everyone. The children respect themselves. The parents respect themselves. They respect each other and all that. Now, we first of all needed to understand the word Western culture. Western culture encourages a lot of independence. You hear children from age of 18, 21, they have moved out from their parents' house to go live alone because that's their culture. However, we come from the culture you can call the collectivist culture, where parents expect a child to live at home up until when the child is fully stable and can finance him or herself. Now, we're living in Western world. Does it mean that we're going to move away from our own culture to the new culture where we belong? Here you have to strike a balance. You have to weigh the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. The advantage or disadvantage, for instance, a child is moving to a college very far from home. You can't expect the child to be going from home because the risk is higher traveling that distance. But if your child is schooling in the same community, in a college or university in the same community where you live, then why will the child leave home? Because it's chasing independence. Except the child is of age to marry, except the child has gone through school, is working and is able to fund him or herself through that. So you can't just throw away your culture because you move to another country. You have to strike a balance. You have to be able to understand the two cultures and see how to blend. The other one that is major issue about parenting is discipline and authority. Yes, in the Western world, I won't say that they don't discipline their children, because they do. However, they have some flexibility, that may not be there from the developing countries where we come from. But also, that does not mean that everyone in Africa or other developing countries are so much disciplined. We have a lot of indisciplined homes, anyhow goes home. So that means that it's here and there. It's up to you to be able to, insist on what you want your children to do. Now, let's say that I have not been disciplining my children in Nigeria. Do you think I'll be able to discipline them here? No. Is a no. Which means the lifestyle you have started in your country is what I believe you should be able to hold on to while learning the new cultures and striking a balance between them. It can be said that parents from Africa are very authoritative. Well, you're in a new culture. You don't necessarily have to be authoritative to the extent that someone will need to call police for you. You have to strike a balance. But where you have been able to train your children in your own home, I can assure you that no child that is well brought up, not even Americans themselves, will want to call police on their parents. So, you see why I said that you just need to strike some balance and not say merely that the Western world, if I take my children there, they will be spoiled. No, there are children who are also spoiled in every other countries of the world. The other one is gender role. In Africa, the expectation is that girls have specific role. They're the one that will clean the house, do the cooking, do that. Hey, in my house, even while we're living in Nigeria, we all have roles. I have only one girl and 3 boys. So there's no way she'll be the only one doing all the house chores. No, we share roles. Again, my children and I, we've had to sit down and talk with ourselves. And I said, I don't want you to be a burden to anyone in future. I don't want you to be so dependent that you can't cook your own food when you're living alone. So you need to learn how to do some of these things. We started off early. And so even when we came here, it wasn't news. It wasn't like it's difficult for us to share roles again, and you do this, you do that, and stuff like that. So I believe that these gender roles and so on, some of the way we see them are not exactly how they are. Now let me go to another one. We are Christians, we go to church in Nigeria. I know some people, when they move abroad, because not many people go to church abroad, they will also not want to go to church. They will move to church online. Hey guys, we have to find a church where we attend physically. This is also part of keeping touch with our roots, where we are coming from, and adding value to the community where we are. And that has really helped us. Some of the things you miss talking about at home, they talk about it in church. You also create social gathering, healthier social gathering for your children. They meet some other youths, they are able to hang out, people who believe what they believe. So you create that opportunity. And finally, I won't fail to talk about the opportunity to keep them connected to their roots. I try to, follow up with them. It didn't start with us being abroad, but we also try to make sure that we create room for us to talk to people at home, connect with home, even visit home. We also try to do that. Even in Nigeria, there are people who live in Nigeria. They live in Abuja or Lagos or wherever, and they don't go to home. They don't go to their villages. No. We made it a point of duty that we take our children back to their roots. Even now that we're living abroad, we also have made the effort to take them back home. And so we're hoping that when you keep that and on, you will not miss it. And God helping you. Let me talk about the God factor. God has to be in it. When you rule out God in it, then you're doing it on your own. And sometimes you don't have enough energy to be able to do it. Yes. Again, we try to make sure that we cook our local food so that their taste bud will still be connected to where they are coming from. We eat every other food. Oh, we do pizza sometimes, we do other things, but we also eat our local food. These are important to us. Some of these things we do definitely helps us to keep the connection going. I'm not saying that it will be the same journey for everyone, but I'm saying that if we're able to strike a balance between what we have heard and what the reality is, then it makes it easier for us. Be present for your children. Connect with them. My children and I and their dad, we play games. We go for walk. We play all manner of games, both indoor and outdoor. We have garden at the back of the house. We all walk there. So I guess in some of my video, you will begin to see, this is summer, and so you're going to be seeing some of us in the garden doing some stuff and all that. I just started my YouTube video, so I've not been doing all the family whatever, but we are going to be seeing it because this is how you build a home. This is how you continue to bond with your children and give them opportunity to be a family indeed. And you will see that it wouldn't matter whether you brought them up in America or in Nigeria or in Ghana or wherever your country is, because you already have a form. Remember, parenting is God-given role and you can't shy away from the responsibilities. Apart from you wanting to have authority over your children, you also have the responsibility to provide for them, to give them guidance, to show them how to make well, to teach them so many things about life. I'll talk about sex education. My children and I started sex education when my first child was only 4. What happened? My daughter went to nursery school, came back and wouldn't want to play with her brother. And after initially I thought, these boys, they have too much energy, allow your sister to rest. So after like 4 hours, she's still not playing, and her brother came and said, Mommy, Chiamaka does not want to play with me. And I'm like, what's going on? So I called her, baby girl, come and tell me what's up. And she said, Mommy, my friend said that when girls play with boys, they will get HIV and die. I was shocked. It was at a time, it looks like nobody wants to talk about HIV. Nobody wants to talk about sex education to their children based on where we're coming from. I had to ask Holy Spirit to help me to begin to break it down for them. You have to give the education based on age. There are some information they will get in, that is age dependent. And that's how we started, and we made it a point of duty. We talk about girlfriend, boyfriend, we talk about it here. And those are things you need to talk about with your children. Build relationship, help them, parent them. Don't wait until they are lost. Observe, commune, bond, build. You can cry with them. Sometimes they mess up so hard you cry with them. But be there for them. Be there in their storm, be there in their joy. And together, you will have no regret. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.